I can teach you to be financially broke. Either that's a good thing if you don't listen to me, or that's a bad thing if you are financially broke because you listen to me or you listen to yourself and not having a financial plan. What I'm going to talk about is something I'm very passionate about, is basic finances at the solid level of foundation, and then you build up as you mature and grow and ask questions. I don't want anyone to be financially broke, but I'm going to share a story, my story when I was very young, 18 all the way to 23. This is how I lived for 5 years, and I don't want anybody to do that. So learn from my mistakes, learn from your mistakes as well, make changes, and move forward successfully financially. This video applies to anybody, young, old, military, or civilian, because finances, as I've said before, is always going to be a very important part of your life, whether you're single or married. So when I was very young, I lived paycheck to paycheck, and I don't know if I did that subconsciously or I planned to live paycheck to paycheck. It doesn't matter, because looking back, that's exactly what I did for 5 years, and I was okay with it at that point. But would I be okay living paycheck to paycheck right now? The answer is obviously no. When I got married at the age of 24, I was embarrassed, and that's what made me change my lifestyle financially. Planning. You have to have a plan. So when I say I lived paycheck to paycheck, I left home at the age of 19, and basically I got into a disagreement with my mom, and I said I'm out. Put whatever I could in my trunk of my car, because I had a car payment. And I went to my friend's place. He was looking for a roommate, so I stayed with him for 3 weeks. 3 weeks later, him and I had an apartment that we shared. So I had a car payment of $219 a month. In 1989 through 1994, that was a lot of money. And that's exactly what I committed myself to, a brand new car, which I haven't had a brand new car since, and a car payment for 5 years. Insurance, by then, my mom, who was paying my insurance, about $150, said, you're paying your insurance. So that added to my expenses every month as a full-time student and employee. Not even a full-time employee, but more like part-time. And my rent and utilities. Food was on my checklist as well, but food was number 6, 7, or 8, because I knew somehow, some way, every day I was going to eat. So I would take care of my utilities, my rent, my car payment successfully every month. If I were to get paid by let's say the 5th of the month, 2 weeks later I'd get paid again. After that weekend, that first weekend, I was broke, and I was fine with it because I was having a lot of fun with my friends. That is not something that I recommend. We all learn from mistakes. Like I said, learn from my mistakes and learn from your mistakes. Pay attention, be deliberate, in the sense that finances, as long as you are solid with the basics, that's a great beginning. If you go progress and learn more, great. But as long as you are solid with the basics, that's going to be good for a beginning. And you'll be not living paycheck to paycheck like I did. Have you ever lived paycheck to paycheck? If the answer is yes, how much fun is that? It's a dumb question, but it's a very powerful question. That's not something that I want for anyone. I can give you an example. I can give you several examples. There's one individual who is in his mid-20s, and I would love for him to make some changes and with his finances. But I can't do that for that person, nor do I want to. Here's the thing. I can teach that individual how to fish so they can actually be successful financially. So one day when that person is married and has a family, finances is second nature. It's actually a piece of cake. But it's going to have to be a decision that you, if you're in that case, just like it was for me, we have to make that decision and work hard. It's not just make a decision and things happen. I decided one day I can't live like this anymore. So I needed some guidance, some discipline. I was also kicked out of a university. That's a different subject before I joined the Air Force. That's why I joined the Air Force. For discipline, for a career, for training. I had to get away from Los Angeles to do something different. What I was doing wasn't working for me. And I knew I had the tools within. I just needed to learn how to use the tools. So, as I look at my notes here, what were my priorities when I was young? My priorities were having fun, living for the weekend, going to the clubs with my friends, and that's exactly what I did. I once went to Baja California, Rosarito, Mexico, south of Los Angeles, with $40 for a weekend, and and I had a blast. But that $40 lasted me one night. I would write a check to my friend and say, hey, I'm going to write you a check for $100. You deposit it through your ATM. We withdraw the $100 and we have money for tonight or for the weekend. And I knew that check was going to bounce. So I'd have to pay that $100 and the fee that comes with it as soon as I got paid. So when I got paid, instead of having $700, now I may have $580. That's an example. You have to be deliberate. You have to be proactive with your finances, and it begins with a budget. That's going to paint your picture of where you are. I've talked about this several times, and I'm very passionate about individuals being successful with their finances. I'm not saying everybody has to be a millionaire. I'm not going to be a millionaire most likely, but if it happens, it happens because it's a plan that I have. The reason I bring that up, I went to a thrift shop just a few days ago, looking through the books. I was waiting for my wife. I was actually done, and I came across this book right here. Secrets of the Millionaire Mind, $1.99. I started reading it. It's good information there. Is my goal to be a millionaire? No, my goal is I've accomplished it in being successful with my finances. I'm not stressed over finances. Life does happen. That may change tomorrow, but I'm gonna have to deal with that accordingly. Having a plan helps. Make sure you have a plan. Nobody can do that for you. You have to be, like I said, deliberate. A message that I learned today is stay motivated with your financial plans. Not just get motivated when you have an emergency. I'm gonna change things now, maybe next week. And as soon as things get back to normal, you get back to doing whatever it is that you do normal. If it's a good financial plan that you have, then you put yourself in that situation where you are in a good situation. But don't get motivated only at the wrong time when you are in need. Get motivated, stay motivated, be proactive with your finances. I can teach you how to be broke, but that's just facetious because that's not something that I want to do. Nobody plans on being broke. But if you don't have a plan, you are going to be broke. That's not something I made up. You've heard it probably before. So make sure you discuss, you take action, you adjust, you do whatever it is that you have to do. I don't make these videos just because I'm trying to tell you what to do. I'm trying to maybe give you options, educate you. You have the power to do what's best for yourself in your life when it comes to decisions, regardless of finances, when it comes to decisions on finances or decisions on if I want to join the military, what's best for you. Don't want to be a civilian. You have the power and the choices to make. So think about that. Have a great day. Be proactive. Stay motivated. Take care.